Hello guys and dolls, it's me Cora. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a review and swatch fest of the relatively new Makeup Forever Artist eyeshadows. I say relatively new because this actually came out several months ago. They did a whole revamp of their entire line of eyeshadows for their 30th anniversary. Now this is a bold move on their part and I have to really commend them because not a lot of brands have it in them to completely discontinue an entire line of product as iconic as eyeshadows. But with that said, I never really thought that their eyeshadow formula was fantastic. I did have a couple of eyeshadows from them that I thought were really great, some really iconic colors, number 92, number 75. But with that said, I never really thought that their eyeshadow formula was fantastic. I did have a couple of eyeshadows from them that I thought were really great, but overall, they weren't like my go-to brand for eyeshadow. That has changed. This new formulation is so good. It completely blows everything else out of the water, and I say that without, you know, any kind of over-exaggeration. They are just that good. One of the best, if not the best, eyeshadow on the market. It's just super pigmented, blendable. The colors themselves are insane. The color range is massive, and it's just so exciting to see a company, you know, completely redoing their eyeshadow formula. I actually wish that a few other brands, I'm looking at you, MAC. So today I'm going to go through all 21 colors that I own, but first I just want to talk about how you purchase them. So when you go into a Sephora store, they'll have the little display of Makeup Forever. Now you have 3 or 4 different buying options. You can buy just the single eyeshadow by itself without a compact. That's 21 bucks, and that way you just get the eyeshadow. It's magnetic, so you can put it in a Z palette, done and done. Or you could buy it with a single compact for $22. The compacts are each $1, whether you buy the single compact, the double compact, or the trio, they're all $1. If you buy 2 eyeshadows with the compact, it's $34, and if you buy 3 eyeshadows in a little trio like this, it's $44 altogether with the eyeshadows and the compact. So that's obviously the very best deal that you can get because it's like getting one whole eyeshadow free. I also want to mention that the compacts are also magnetic, obviously, so you can pull the eyeshadows out of there. You just want to get like a nice strong magnet to pull them out. Also, when they did the studio case, this was a limited edition that they did around the holiday time, all of these eyeshadows were also magnetic, and I thought that was really, really cool because a lot of times when a company will do like a palette like that, they'll just glue the eyeshadows in. They won't have them be magnetic that you can pull out. I thought that was so cool that they did that. I love Makeup Forever. They have a few different formulations within the umbrella of the artist eyeshadow. There's matte, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's a matte, no shine, no shimmer. They have the satin category. The satin ones have a very slight sheen to them. I feel it's a very true satin, whereas some companies, their satins are more like mattes, or they're very, very shimmery. This is a very true satin type texture. Those ones have almost like a wet feeling to them. They're not like a wet gel eyeshadow, but it's like they have a nice emollient slip to them. The iridescent eyeshadows are your typical kind of shimmery eyeshadow, not glittery, not chunky, very smooth, and those ones have a creamy emolliency to them. The metallic eyeshadows are metallic, very high frost, very high shine. Those ones are also very emollient. Diamond eyeshadows are very similar to the metallic in terms of the base color, but they have a lot of glitter in them. One thing that's really awesome is the glitter actually sticks around. A lot of iridescent diamond or glittery eyeshadows, the glitter completely falls out. This one, the glitter actually sticks around pretty well, and I'm really impressed with that because that's not something that most companies have. I think that's all the textures. So we have matte, satin, iridescent, metallic, and diamond. I think that's the 5. Unfortunately, in your local Sephora store, they only have a very small selection of the eyeshadows. If you go to a Makeup Forever boutique, if you're lucky enough to have one near you, there's one in San Jose. If you're in California, I know that for sure. I'm sure they have one in LA. Just if you're able to go to a Makeup Forever boutique, that would be amazing. In fact, I am planning a trip to San Jose just so I can go to the Makeup Forever boutique because I want to be able to see all the shadows. As I've been buying the trios, I have had somewhat of an idea of like, you know, putting colors together that look nice in a trio together, but not necessarily just buying them by color family. So each of these trios that I'm going to show you are just what I've bought because I went in that day and these are the colors I really wanted to buy. One thing that I've always had is like a little bit of a pet peeve is an eyeshadow that is not named. It's one of the things I don't like about Inglot eyeshadows. I just find that names are easier to remember than numbers. Each one has a letter or a combination of letters like ME for metallic and M for matte. And then they have a number that will correlate where it is on the color spectrum. And then they have a name that you can find out if you look online. I'm going to go through each one of my trios and show you guys the swatches and everything. As I'm explaining them, I'm going to use the names that they have online rather than using the numbers because it's just going to be a little bit easier for me. I wrote myself notes of what they're all called. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to insert an annotation that'll tell you guys what the name of the product is. Alright, so let's go ahead and start going through my trios and showing you some swatches. So the first one that we have is Orchid. This is one of the metallic finishes. Crazy pigmented, super hard flash in between the the blue, purple kind of thing. Ugh, very similar to Stars and Rockets from MAC, but like Stars and Rockets on crack. I mean, this thing is so intense. It's awesome. The next one is Iridescent Lime Green. This is a acidic chartreuse. Fantastic. You guys know chartreuse is one of my favorite eyeshadow colors. This one is superb. The next one in my little lineup here is Pine Green. This is another iridescent eyeshadow. Wonderful texture. This one was going to be so great for like a smoky eye or as a liner. It's just so fantastic. I had to have it. And actually these three go quite well together. This is actually the first trio that I bought. This one is like purples and oranges. Love, love, love. So the first one is a matte eggplant. This one is so fantastic. I can't even begin to tell you. A color like this is usually really hard to blend. This blends beautifully. The other thing too is that if you put it with warmer colors, it starts to look a little more burgundy. If you put it with cooler colors, it looks more purple. So it's a nice versatile, neutral-ish kind of color. It's definitely, you know, a pop of color, but you can wear it in a neutral-ish kind of way. Next one in this little lineup is a satin color. This is Violet. It is super, super, super intense. It's really rare for a pale color like this to go on so intense, so creamy. It almost acts like a cream eyeshadow. It is so good. And then the final one in my little trio here is Iridescent Pumpkin. This one is a massively intense metallic orange. I know it's one of the iridescent, but it looks a little bit more metallic on the skin. Fantastic. Oh my god, this little trio, how delicious would this color combination be? I love it, and really, really excited about these. So here is my next little trio. Got some warmer colors going on. This first one is called Light Rosewood, which is like a perfect name for it. This one is so great as a transitional color in the crease. It's such a beautiful pinky tan, but if you blend it with other colors, you can go a little more coral. Like, I like mixing this one and this bottom shade, which by the way is called Coral. I like mixing those two together in my crease for a beautiful pinky coral that has a little bit of like a neutral tone to it, because this one's almost brown. These two are both satins, and then our center color here is Crystalline Pink. This one's really interesting. It gives you like a sheer iridescence with a little bit of glitter with it. It's a great one to use as a topping on top of other eyeshadows, or to use as just like a sheer popping highlight. Great, great little eyeshadows. So then I'm gonna go ahead and get to the studio case since I have all of these together, and these are almost all permanent. I thought I would go through these as well. So the first eyeshadow we have is Matte Eggshell. This is just what you would expect from that, a matte eggshell color. Next one in this lineup is a satin color called Sand. This one is excellent as a lid color. It has a little bit of a yellow beige base. The next color in this lineup is called Pink Granite, and this one is one of the iridescent eyeshadows, so it has that super massive emolliency, the great, great color texture. This is one of the eyeshadows that I'm using the most, and I know I'm gonna have to buy a full size of it soon. The next eyeshadow is Metallic Snow. This one is a very metallic, bright silvery white. The next one is called Steel. It's just a gorgeous steel gunmetal gray. Fantastic color. The next one is Matte Black. Kind of self-explanatory there. The next one is one of our diamond eyeshadows. It's called Lagoon. It is the most intense blue aqua color. I mean, whew, it's like turquoise on crack. It's so good. I love it. It's very metallic base color with that gorgeous shimmer. Next eyeshadow is a diamond eyeshadow called Blueberry. It's definitely more purple. I absolutely love using this one in the outside portion of my crease. Like, let's say I've done an eyeshadow look and it's kind of neutral. I'm like, let's just pop on a little purple. I'll just blend this in my crease really fast. Or I like putting it on my under eye. I absolutely love that one. That's another one I'm probably going to use up pretty quickly. This blue one here, I couldn't find the permanent version of it. It's Iridescent 218. So I think this one might have been exclusive to this palette, but it's a bright royal blue. It actually looks more metallic to me than iridescent, but whatever. This next eyeshadow is Iridescent Pinky Beige. This one is fantastic, another great lid color, another one good for a nice pop of highlight. It's exactly that, it's a pink beige iridescent eyeshadow. So this next eyeshadow is a diamond formulation, the shade name is Fig. This is sort of like a warm garnet type color. I don't know why it's called Fig, it's definitely more in the red category. And Fig to me is always like a purple kind of color, but whatever. Whatever's clever, it works fine. And then the final eyeshadow that I have to share with you guys today is one of my favorites. This is Metallic Garnet Black. This eyeshadow is so good. It is so good, my man. It is just, Let me do some live swatches for you as well, out of order from how they are in the trio, but you can see live swatches, There's no primer or anything on my hand. This is just what they look like. Let's go ahead and do these ones as well. This is awkward because I now have that on my hand. So I went ahead and just rubbed my hands. Like, seriously, is this real life? This is so good. So I'm trying to think if there's any other questions. I have everything written down in my little Touchless notebook here of all the things I wanted to say. Essentially, these are just the best eyeshadows I've ever tried. Eyeshadows, they almost feel creamy. They stop just short of being a cream eyeshadow, but they have such an amazing emolliency to them. It's really interesting. It's something that you're not going to be able to easily wipe them off your brush. So, like, for instance, with like a very powdery eyeshadow, you use it on your brush, you grab a tissue, you can kind of wipe it off and then use that brush for something else. I find with these, I do need to fully rewash my brushes after each use, which I usually do anyway. I think I've basically covered everything. If you guys have any additional questions, comments, or concerns, leave them for me in the comment section down below. I will be happy to answer them later. I love these eyeshadows. I can't get enough of them. I have to buy every color because they're so amazing. They are on the pricier side of eyeshadow, but this is the best eyeshadow that you can get, in my opinion. The other thing too is that if you buy them in the trios, they're less than $15 a piece. So in that case, they're very comparable to a lot of mid-range brands, but the quality just completely blows them out of the water. So these are totally worth the money spent. They are completely just insanely good. Go to a Sephora, check them out, swatch them. You will be amazed. And that is all I have to say for my review, or should I say my gush fest of the Makeup Forever Artist eyeshadows. I love them. I think they're fantastic and I can't get enough. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. Remember to make good choices and just be yourself. See you, bye. Bye, bye, bye.